Welcome back to Section 5, Building Empathy for Challenging Clients. So this is the second exercise, and we're going to be looking at the concept of free will. For me, this was something I never even questioned. Of course we have free will. That is what I was brought up believing, but I never questioned it. And there's been two really amazing thought leaders that have radically shifted how I see free will, and that has drastically impacted the empathy I am able to feel for my clients. So Brene Brown is one of these thought leaders, and the other is Sam Harris. And I will go over a little bit of their concepts. So I actually no longer believe in free will. I also believe that each person is doing the absolute best they can in each given moment. And this is due to a lot of factors. So this is due to their gut chemistry. So how much serotonin is your gut producing for you? Due to their trauma history and generational trauma history. And the more trauma we have, it takes down our choices to a smaller window. So if that client's had a lot of generational trauma and childhood trauma and other trauma, then the choices that they had to respond have been greatly reduced. Their neurochemistry, what's happening for them right now? Their nutrition. If they haven't been eating enough healthy oils, their brain sheathing is going to be thinner and it's going to be more staticky in their brain. So maybe they're not able to complete the logical thoughts that you think they should be, but it's really a nutritional deficiency and they're doing the best they can. So this is my belief why clients are doing the best they can. So Brene Brown speaks to that there's really two subsets of people, and it's about 50-50 in our culture, that 50% of the people believe that people are absolutely not doing the best they can, and the other 50% of the people believe that people are doing the best they can. And so what are the differences between these two people? People that actually believe that people are doing the best they can have better boundaries and offer more compassion and love to others. So this might seem strange, but to me, when I believe this person is doing the absolute best they can, I'm not holding them up to a higher expectation. So if they're doing things that are harmful, I know that's the best they can in this moment, and I'm going to set up the proper boundaries to protect myself and others from them. When people believe that they aren't doing the best they can and they really could do better if they just tried a little bit harder, we might not set up those boundaries to protect ourselves. Like, oh, they could do better. Like, I just need to communicate with them more clearly and they'll change. But if we are over here and we think that this is the best I actually can do, nothing I can do will likely change this, we set up a different set of boundaries. And when we have these expectations that this person could be doing better, it might be more difficult for us to offer them love. Some of the interviews that she did with people looked at like this one couple. It was people in the church, and they were supporting this one couple, and like they would bring by the baby formula and the person would sell it for drugs, and could be easy for a lot of us to judge that behavior. This mother needs to be doing better and not selling the formula for drug money. But when you take the stance that this person's actually doing the best they can in this moment, that there's no other choice to them for them to be selling all the formula I give them for drug money, well, then I'm going to operate differently and set different boundaries. There's a little mini rock slide happening, so my attention was drawn over there for a second. Okay, so if I give them formula, they're going to sell it. How else can I make sure this baby is getting fed? Maybe it's members from the church coming over every day and feeding the baby and supporting the mother. But you just look at different boundaries and different ways to operate if this is what's going to happen. And I offer you the question, how do you operate when you believe a person's not doing the best they could and they could do differently, versus if the thought that this person could do differently couldn't exist in your mind, and you absolutely understand that this person is doing the best they can. Just, I invite you to look at that for someone in your life, and see how your stance towards them might change when you believe that. And the next person is Sam Harris. So Sam Harris is doesn't believe in free will, if there was a better word for that. But he thinks this concept is quite illogical and unquestioned. And I listened to an amazing podcast by him and Joe Rogan, and it was so funny. While I actually believe in everything, I believe that people are doing the best they can due to their brain chemistry, their trauma history, their gut biome, their nutrition. I mean, there's so many factors that impact the choices that we can make. Due to the stress levels, due to the sleep we get, due to the fact if we're grieving or not. I absolutely believe that we're doing the best we can. But when he started talking how free will doesn't exist, I felt anger in me rise. But by the end of that 3-hour-long podcast, I came to a place of acceptance and kind of like, of course, like it doesn't exist. And when we believe it doesn't exist, there seems to be a switch in people that we go from punitive to reparative. If this person is actually doing the best they can, how can I help repair and offer services to them to support them in growing, versus kind of being punitive and being like, come on, just buck up and do differently. It's not possible for this person to buck up. So I invite you to question how you look at free will. I'll include some links from Brene Brown and Sam Harris that might provide more insight. And I offer you that when you're working with clients that are challenging, if you hold the concept that they're doing the best they can due to their history and everything that's happening in the current moment, does that change how you view them? Does that allow you to have more compassion and empathy for them? Thank you for joining me on this discussion on free will, and I look forward to connecting soon. Take care.